You close that door, we're done.
Huh?
You close that door, we're done.
If I close the door, we're done.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What I just said, that's what it means. You close the door, and you close the door.
Then
You weren't even going to ask, like, what it means, like...
So we're done. What does that mean?
You close the door, we're done. That's what it means.
Like done as a relationship?
Take it how it is. Oh. Where are you going? Don't you open up my door. Oh, straight up.
I'm telling you, man, these modern women are going to get enough of threatening men when they can't even enforce their own boundaries with another dude. You do this, and then this is going to happen. Why don't you tell that to Chad? Why don't you tell that same BS that's coming up out of your mouth right now to a dude that you've been folding for over and over again? Why don't you tell it to them? Oh, wait a minute. You're not. Okay, then. Shut up talking to me.
Okay, well, what the... I'm going to lock it. You're lucky I tried to lock it right now because you just want to be dumb. I said you close it, we're done. So we're done? All right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, my God. Stop. Stop! Then what do you want in life? Do you want to be with me or no? Do you want to be with me or no?
If you're saying stuff like that, the answer is always going to be no. From now on forever. And I encourage men that when a woman does something like this to you, because modern women like test. They like to test a man. And I can see if you go through asking questions just to kind of get a feel of how he would react or act in different situations. I get it. That's kind of part of vetting somebody. But little stupid tests like there was one time a woman said something about her friends were doing this joke on their husband. And when she heard it, it was a silly joke and she wouldn't do it. She kept on saying, no, I'm not going to do this. And then finally, one day after them pestering her for a little bit, she finally did it. And the reaction her husband had wasn't what she thought. It wasn't the same reaction that all of the other husbands had. And essentially the joke was something about getting divorced or I want a divorce or something like that. And after that, when she said that to him, he left that same day. He left that same day. He said, I'm not playing with you. I'm not messing around with you. You got a lot of stupid stuff going on up there in your head, and I don't want to be part of that. And you got to understand, maybe that worked for them in their relationship because maybe there weren't things that they were arguing about or going back and forth about. Maybe it was the case that y'all have been arguing or talking about certain things, and he finally decided, hey, if this is what she wants based on what's been going on with us, then I'm going to give it to her. I ain't even going to fight. Or maybe it was none of that. Maybe this is just something that is triggering to him and you made a joke about it. There's a lot of couples that say, hey, man, don't joke about that. You never joke about that. And you did it based on what your friend said. So now maybe she's been watching TikToks and Instagram and social media and she decided, I'm going to try this. I'm hoping it's a prank. I'm going to try this joke or this prank on my man. Hey, if you close that door, we're done. Da, 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 da. Thinking that men are tied to you. They just have to have what's in between your legs. Like you're the only one that got it. Thinking that you didn't put it down so well that this man is trapped with you. Absolutely not. You did the right thing, bro. Slamming doors, walking around car doors and shutting them, opening and closing them just to prove a point. This is my car. It's my business. I go where I want to go with who I want to go with. And if you don't like it, let me drop you off and go continue it on with what I was doing.
I've just been dating this guy that I really like. I have not heard from him at all lately.
Okay. Still here.
Yeah, it's about the trip. I don't think it's
what would
time.
that have to do with us or with me? I don't understand.
Serena, I don't think it's time for us to travel together yet.
I'm the person that you should be bringing on the trip.
See, I knew this is exactly what she'd expect, and I'm not ready.
You know what? Can I just ask something real quick? Are you planning on taking another girl with you?
No, I'm actually not seeing anybody else. I'm going to take my buddy Steve.
He doesn't want to take me, his girlfriend of 3 months. I'm right here. I have all the time in the world. We're dating. Why would I not be the first ask?
I mean, 3 months is pretty early.
Yeah, I think so.
For me, like, it's a deal breaker. Like, if Rich doesn't take me, he will never see me again.
Oh,
as long as he
whoa.
lives.
This is so
wow.
extreme.
Rich, does that make you change your mind?
No, giving me an ultimatum like this, that's, definitely not going to take her on the trip.
Serena, how do you feel about that?
I can't respect this at all. And sorry, but I actually hate you all.
All right. Well, sorry about this, Serena.
Just another modern woman throwing a hissy fit when a man gives her a strong boundary is what it is. These modern women want to give men all the boundaries in the world, all of the walls, all of the expectations, all of the standards for men to follow. But when a man says, okay, well, this is my standard, 3 months into the relationship, I actually don't feel comfortable taking you. Maybe we can wait until 6 months or something like that. I feel comfortable with that. But at this point in time, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Imagine that. Imagine that. I don't feel spending that level of money. I don't feel comfortable doing it. Imagine not liking that. But this is what she's talking about right now and throwing a fit and saying, okay, if you don't do this, then we're done. Oh, okay. All right, cool.
So it's just but Serena's so like,
why is this funny?
She's so dramatic. Okay.
Serena,
Sorry that it turned out that way.
we're sorry you feel that way. We hope that you still listen to us on Virgin Radio, but good luck to you both.
Will ya, Serena?
Yeah, this is exactly how you'd expect a modern woman to act, to be honest with you. This is how they act on a regular basis. If somebody doesn't give them their way, then all of a sudden it's a problem. They're upset with that man or whoever, really honestly and truly, anybody in any proximity to the situation they're upset with. That's what they do. They just throw an attitude, get mad. It's another form of manipulation. And most men are hip to this nonsense, and that's why they stay away from you. That's why this man is saying, no, I don't think we're going to be moving forward. That's why when you hear he was shocked, it was like, what, you give me an ultimatum for something as small as not taking you on a vacation 3 months into our relationship? I would like a little bit more time to get to know you. But she's upset about that because, as most modern women do, she thinks that she's so unique that she deserves all of the presents, all of the treats, all of the vacations up front. But should a man require something from her that he actually wants up front, then all of a sudden he's been too pushy. He was saying anything to get in my pants. He was saying anything, just love bombing me, and I didn't feel comfortable with that. And you know who would be in the comments? You guessed it. Other modern women talking about how she was so brave and so courageous to not allow this from him, to spot the red flags and then dodge them, to use her intuition, to follow her gut, to listen to her heart and not get involved with this man any further. He showed you his true colors. When people show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. Well, you showed him and the radio host who you were. And now it's time for you, bro, to believe exactly who she is. Exactly who she is. Leave her alone. And any type of woman that shows signs of this selfish behavior, leave them alone. That's all she was in it for, was the money, was the vacations. And you saved yourself some time by finding this out earlier on. Well, 3 months that's a pretty good amount of time. That's a quarter of a year. But even still, it's better than a whole year or however long wasting time with her.
When he takes you home to meet his parents and he's like, are you hungry? And you're like, yeah. And he's like, Mom, she's hungry. Shut the f up. I am not hungry. I will not eat. You're hungry. You're done. Men are dumb. Men are dumb.
All right, y'all. I am here to tell you that the men are not okay. So I went on a date with this guy on Friday, and y'all, let me tell you about this date. So he got tickets to a comedy show, and he picked me up around 8 o'clock. Cool. We get to the comedy show. We're there about an hour early, and he says he's hungry, and we're right across the street from a taco spot. So he's like, let's go get tacos. I'm like, cool. Now, mind you, to give you a little context, he bought the comedy show tickets. They were $25 each. So he paid for that. We get to the taco spot. I wasn't that hungry, so he ordered 3 tacos and I ordered 1 because I wasn't very hungry. So we get the tacos and we sit down at the table and, we're just chatting, just talking, whatever. And he has 2 cups in his hands that the cashier had given him. And he's like, oh, let's go get some drinks. Let's go get our drinks. And I'm like, oh, okay, do you actually mind just grabbing me a water? And y'all, after I asked him if he could grab me a water, his face completely changed. His energy completely changed. And I said to him, I was like, are you okay? Like, is something wrong? Like, what's happening here? And he puts the cups, like he pushes the cups towards me. And he goes, why don't you go get us some water? And again, I'm hella confused. I'm like,
and I could be wrong about this, but I think he's already thinking, I'm doing a lot here. Can you give me some help? Because if I understand correctly, he ordered tacos, however many he ordered. You ordered one. Okay, so he's walking back with the tacos. Sounds like he's got his hands full. He's got the tacos and then the cups, but maybe I'm wrong here, right? So when he said, okay, what do you want to drink? And then you're like, oh, well, you're just requesting a lot of stuff. Not that he's just asking you questions, it sounds like, but you're just requesting from him, hey, can you do this? Or, yeah, I like this, right? And so instead of him just asking for help, hey, can you go get us some water or something like that? It just really sounds like to him, you're just requesting a lot of things, which is what modern women do in today's era. So if I'm hearing it correctly, he's a little bit frustrated and a little bit, he's just like kind of shell-shocked from maybe other dates that he's gone on, and women have sat there and, oh, I'm just going to look pretty and I'm just going to be here in my feminine. And that's all I bring to the table.
what do you mean? Like, I'm just like, I mean, sure, I can go get some water, but I'm confused. Like, am I missing something? Like, I'm genuinely confused. And he goes, why don't both of us go get drinks? And I'm like, okay, like, I'm, again, genuinely confused. I have no idea why this is happening, but we get up, we go get water, or we go get drinks, and we sit back down at the booth. So we get to the booth, and this man says, I have a question for you. Are you the kind of woman that is going to, serve your man? I said, what? He said, are you the kind of woman that caters to your man? Is that something that you do? And I said to him, why are you asking me this question? I'm confused. Why are you asking me this question? Did I miss something? And then he goes, well, I'm treating you to the state, like I bought us the comedy show tickets, I paid for the tacos. And again, mind you, y'all, he got 3 tacos and I got 1. He said, I paid for the tacos, I'm treating you, and it just feels like you haven't really contributed anything to the state. And he goes on to talk about how he was offended that I asked him to grab me a water. Y'all, I started seeing black. I started seeing black. I said, this is not real life. Y'all, when this man was done telling me what was in his heart and crashing out, I said, are you finished? And he said, yes. I picked up my purse and I walked out. I got an Uber and I went home.
And I don't think he really has a problem with that. He's for sure okay with that, right? Because let's cut your losses right now. This is what most of modern women don't understand about a man expressing to you, hey, I feel like, and this is probably something, like I said, it's probably something that he's dealt with in the past, which most men have with modern women. Hey, I'm treating you. Like, are you the type of, maybe he should have said something different, or he should have used like different phrases, because I was like really direct and confrontational. But he was asking you a genuine question. Are you the type of person that caters to her man? Like, basically what he meant to say is, are you somebody that does things for your man? Because look, I'm treating you to the comedy show. I bought both of our tickets. So that's 50 right there. Well, you got, what you just said, it's not indicative of being thankful. You know what I mean? Like, well, I got 1 taco. You got 3. So I didn't really do anything. No, but you could have gotten more. You just weren't hungry. What you're trying to give us is, well, I wasn't that much of a burden. You paid a little old measly $25 for the comedy show. And then you took us out for tacos. I was okay with that. And you paid a little old measly $10. And you didn't even pay that much for me because I didn't even get but one taco. And then I was going to get water. So you didn't really spend a whole lot of money, right? Instead of being grateful for what the man was doing. Hey, instead of us going out for dinner or something, let's go for a comedy show, right? And let's go get some tacos or something. Like, well, I'm not really hungry, so I'm gonna go ahead and get one. Instead of taking it from that angle, right? From his perspective, when he came over with the cups, because he did buy the dinner, he bought the dinner or whatever you want to call it. Instead of you just grabbing the cups and seeing it and taking initiative, this is what most men are talking about. Instead of taking initiative, grabbing the cups and say, hey, what do you want to drink? Oh, man, give me a Coke or something like that. You sat there. He said, let's go get drinks or something like that. And you said, do you mind getting me a water? Let's go get drinks. You know what I mean? I think what he's expressing to you, maybe you could express it in a better way, but maybe what he's expressing to you is, I don't want to do all the work here. I don't want to do all the paying. And if you would get that through your mind, most modern women they understand it, but they don't care because they don't care about a man's experience. And you're showing men, I don't really care about your experience. Not like that, right? You're supposed to be doing for me. And really what you're doing right now doesn't really reach the level or the threshold of anything that's significant or important. You took me on a little coffee date. You took me on a little ice cream date. That doesn't mean anything. And then every so often you'll have women in the comments said, man, I'm good with the coffee date. Me and my husband been together for 30 years. I'm good with an ice cream date. That's where I first met my husband, and we've been together for 20, 30 years, right? It's about getting to know the person versus all the emphasis being on the financial side of them and the date. Right now, it doesn't mean that they don't need to spend any money, but they definitely, depending on how you guys are getting to know each other and interact, they definitely don't need to spend a whole month's salary worth on you, which is what modern women require. So let's give him some responsibility, but I can't let you off the hook. You need some accountability as well. You get on here, are men okay? You need to do some self-reflection as well and see how was I coming off? Maybe I didn't mean to come off in that manner, but I have to understand his experience as well as mine. But of course, modern women will never do that. And they'll just say, oh, this man crashed out and I just got up and left. Maybe you should have. But maybe on your way home in your Uber, you should say, okay, maybe I can put a little bit more effort into showing him on the date I don't mind serving him as he's serving me.
If you're in your late 20s, early 30s, and you are still single, listen up. This is the piece of advice that I share with all of my friends who are single. I'm 33, so a lot of my friends are in our 30s, and if they're single, they feel like, what's wrong with me? I'm behind. Why can't I find someone? My clock is ticking, etc., etc. And I always look at them and I shake my head and I say, I think you're forgetting who you are. You could go date any guy, but you're not the girl who's just going to go date any guy. You have standards, you have dreams, you have visions that you want for your life. You bring so much to the table that you can't just go be with anyone that you just pluck off the street. And I think a lot of my friends look at themselves and like blame themselves when in reality, they just need a guy that's going to match them. And that's rare. It's rare on both sides. Like my friends are rare girls and the guys that they need are also rare guys. They can't just go be with anybody. And I know there's no such thing as perfect, but I also look at them and say, would you rather have someone right now just because it's working into like the age you're supposed to be doing things? Or would you rather just keep living your life, having fun doing you, and when the perfect person comes along for you, then you have them? And most of them say the latter because that is what you want. So you're most likely a rare girl who deserves someone so special and you are so special, and that is why you're still single. So stop blaming yourself. Just keep doing you, and the right guy who really deserves you at the perfect time, who is right for you, who's right for your life, is going to come along. Don't get caught up in the age and the timeline. You're just ruining it for yourself and wasting, honestly, a lot of energy focused on it.
You're probably a nice person and you're just trying to help, but modern women really are the worst. They really are. This type of advice is going to keep every single one of you single forever. When the timing is perfect and everything is right, and he'll walk into your life and it'll be, no, he won't. No, he won't. Oh, just keep on living your life and doing you. He ain't coming. He gonna keep on living his life and doing him. And I'm gonna tell you right now, what he's doing is gonna be just enough for what he needs as well. To be honest with you, this type of just keep on being out in the world, keep on being strong and independent, and do whatever you want. Just keep your head in the clouds. Type of advice for modern women. I'm surprised it hasn't gotten old yet. And I know you're trying to make your friends feel good, and it's not you, it's the outside world. Just keep on doing you, sort of thing. But at some point in time, when are modern women going to start giving honest feedback for themselves? You don't have to tear yourself down, but you can give yourself an honest assessment. It's like, oh, well, maybe I don't need to be doing this, right? Now, the person that's for you, he might accept that little thing here and there, but overall, your mentality and your attitude has to change in order to allow somebody into your life. And modern women think of men as accessories. And so therefore, why would anybody who is an accessory want to have anything to do with you or pay all of your bills? Why would they want to do that if you just think of them as a small part, as an insignificant thing in your life? Why?
I'm sitting here thinking about how some people come home after a long day to another person, and how much I love coming home to an empty place with just my dog that I love so much, and nobody saying anything, just silence. And then I thought maybe I should go schedule a date.
I don't know why I'm single either, because it's like a really easy gig. I barely want to speak to you. I maybe want to see you once or twice a week, twice max if you're not annoying. I'll probably always choose my dog over you. I don't really want to sleep in the same room as you. And yeah, rates are starting at...
Nobody's going to take that rate. Nobody. This is not... Modern women know how to sell themselves in business and everywhere else. But it seems like their brain cuts off when they need to sell themselves to a man. When it comes to literally anybody else, even men in the workplace. My boss, I need to sell myself. I need to do great. I need to have an A+ top-notch presentation. But when it comes to a man, even your husband, all of a sudden, he just get the rest. These modern women, think that a man should be so happy to get the scraps of their day, to get all of the complaining, all of the bad parts, never any positive, just the complaining. Oh, you never do this right. And I know I'm complaining. These modern women, the mentality that they have is such a loser mentality. I don't want to call them losers, but the mentality that they walk around with is such a loser mentality. Well, what do you mean? I reviewed a clip of a woman divorced saying all I did was, I think it was after 30, 40 years, she was in her 60s. Man, my husband just up and divorced me. Instead of fighting for the relationship, instead of letting everything out, he held everything in and he didn't fight and he didn't go to marriage counseling. And she blaming everything. I mean, I nagged a little bit and there were some things that I did and I wasn't perfect, but nothing that I did was divorce worthy. Okay, so what did you do? And let us see if it was divorce worthy. Maybe we can give you some pointers and things that he was looking for and he was looking out for. No, I'm not going to do that because I wasn't really doing anything wrong. I wasn't doing anything wrong. So I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to say that to you. This is a scheme. This is a scam. I don't even like you. I love my dog more than you. I don't even want to sleep in the same room as you. I know she's joking. I know she's joking. I get it. But this is what modern women think. You sit up here, divorce somebody gets divorced from you, and you can't figure out why. Y'all don't present yourselves well to anyone. Y'all want a man to take the worst parts of you and fix all of it. And then send you back out there and just every single day, the worst parts. You don't never have anything good to say. It's always negative. It's always freaking what somebody did to me. Or, oh, woe is me. Come over here and give me a hug. Kiss me on my forehead and tell me everything's going to be okay. Is there ever any point in your life to where something has gone right and you want to tell me about it? I got the job promotion. Oh man, I saw a cute dog today and it was just so great. Is there anything else that you want to tell me besides, man, I hate life? Come give me a hug and rub my back every single day. Rub my feet while I tell you how this woman at work was the worst. Is there ever anything else? Is there ever rub my feet while I tell you how bad you are as a partner? Why would a man want that? Rub my feet while I tell you I don't even want you around. Are you insane? Who would want that?